Hello there my friends, my name is Riskfish and today I'm bringing you a video on Warhammer 2 Total War. One of the most reoccurring problems in the campaign is steamrolling, in which factions expand far too quickly for their rivals to compete. This is especially common in factions such as the High Elves, Dwarves and the Empire, who have good mutual relations, multiple ways to improve those relations further, and the ability to confederate quickly. This is a short series of videos looking at how these juggernauts can be hindered or stopped by contesting their homelands with enemy races and lords. Today we'll be looking at Ulthuan, with its situation being particularly bad. 9 out of 11 factions in the peninsula are High Elves, with the remaining 2, the Scourge of Cain and the Cult of Excess, being starter enemies for 2 of the most powerful lords, and so rarely survive the early game. There are many enemies that could be added to Ulthuan's other provinces though, and let's start with Naga Roth. Naga Roth was once Malekith's seat of power, however now it serves as a battleground between the Dark Elves and the High Elves, with the Shadow Warriors of Naga Roth being a constant threat to the Dark Elves. Malekith has dispatched several Shade clans, known collectively as the Sundered Clans or alternatively the Reaver Shades. The purpose of this is to hunt down the Shadow Warriors and reclaim any territory they can in preparation for Malekith's eventual assault on Ulthuan. Additionally, the 6th Phoenix King, Telphys, was rumoured to have been assassinated on the Blighted Isle by an assassin who could well be Shadowblade. This Shade focus has also been recognised by CA, with the 2 unique structures in the province providing Shade garrisons for Dark Elf players. The bordering regions of Valerian and Crace have also been hit hard by Dark Elf invasions and raids. All of this suggests that Shadowblade could lead the Sundered Clans or Reaver Shades in the campaign, with a Shadow Warrior subfaction as his starter enemy. Clothic is the site of the final battle between Prince Sigval the Magnificent and Princess Eldraya of Tiranoc. Sigval had invaded North Ulthuan to punish them for having better hair than himself. However, Princess Eldraya managed to skirmish the horde down with Shadow Warriors and Tiranoc chariots, before forcing a final decisive battle in Clothic. Since he was supported by Norscan raiders in his invasion and had constant challenges to his leadership, having a Norscan legendary lord start in the vicinity would also be a nice reference. The Scalings are located just across the sea in the Vortex, so perhaps having a lord like Eagle Styreborn of the Scalings is justifiable. Even in Mortal Empires he has a strong connection to Bretonnia, so starting him there would still make him a threat to Ulthuan. Alternatively, giving him multiple start locations like Deathmaster Snickage could also be viable. Ivris is the site of the final battle between Grum the Punch and Elfarion the Grim, who defeated Grum as he was sacking Tor Ivris. In reality, however, Grum's war was widespread and was able to destroy all but one of the warding stones supporting the Vortex. For example, the woods in the nearby province of Safaray are regarded as unsafe to travel due to dangerous beasts in the woods. While this is likely referring to Ulthuan's native magical beasts, it could also be expanded to include remnants of Grum's war. Having splinter hordes could also be good for Grum, because as shown by Nakai, if hordes only have one army then they're easy to wipe out, unless you make them a re-emerging faction like the Beastmen. Having a second horde however increases the chances of Grum being consistent and a constant threat to Ulthuan. Crace is one of the main routes used by the Dark Elves to enter the inner areas of Ulthuan and has become a land filled with dark magic. It is also home of Corhil the White Lion. While this video is mainly looking at how to weaken the High Elves, adding a High Elf Lord here does have its advantages. Firstly, Crace normally controls 2 settlements, whereas new lords normally control only 1, slowing down the initial resources the faction has and reducing the amount of land that can be initially confederated. Secondly, it could also be used to add another faction to Ulthuan. In the lore, there is a character known as Louis Cypher who is a Bretonnian necrote vampire who set sail to absorb the power of Ulthuan's standing stones. While he isn't really fleshed out enough to be a lord in his own right, he could be a generic starting enemy for Corhil. The spreading of corruption from himself and the Vampire Coast Raiders could also cause public order issues. Caledor is mostly associated with Prince Imric, however there is another contender. Arsenal the Dragonlord was a Dragon Prince of Caledor who defied the Phoenix King's orders to reinforce his forces in Lothern, in order to save his homeland of Caledor from a Druchii attack. When the Phoenix King tried to punish him for his actions, so angry was Arsenal that he swore that he would no longer serve the crown of Ulthuan and was exiled as a result. Since then, Arsenal has become a well-known and wealthy mercenary in Tilia, although he still has a desire to return home to Calador. This means we have a Dragon Prince who opposes the Phoenix King and has both the wealth and connections to hire a mercenary army from Tilia. And while the Southern Realms is really too big of a race to be a pre-order, if CA do decide to go this route, it gives them a start position in Ulthuan and a powerful rival for Tyrion. It also frees up Imric to be used in a much cooler location in Warhammer 3. There are 2 additional provinces in the Vortex campaign, and while Southern Ivris is contested by Aranessa of Sartosa, Eotin could be contested by Morathi if given a dual starting location. These were all the characters from different races that I found that I thought could be used in Ulthuan. I'm not saying that they should all be added, however I'm simply looking at the options available. And this sadly brings us to the end of the video. If there are any more races and lords that you think could be used to fix the Steamroll in Ulthuan, let me know in the comments below and I hope to see you next time.